Hello everyone and welcome back to another Corepunk video and Happy New Year. So on the day itself, well, the day before, you could say the day up to New Year, Eugene Kyver, the producer of Corepunk, actually joined the Discord chat, the official Corepunk Discord, and had a great chat with people asking, well, like not asking, but answering questions for a lot of fans. And we actually got quite cool answers lately. I mean, there was some pretty good questions and pretty good answers, so all pretty cool. So let's do it. So first of all, Eugene Kyver comes in as a surprise about 6 in the evening in my time. I think he's like, I don't know what hour he's in, maybe in 1 hour later, I don't know, maybe the same time. But he's saying, "Hello adventurers. We're still in progress of polishing our crafting and gathering demo. It's almost ready, but we decided to take a few more weeks to spend some quality time with our families on holiday and reshoot it fresh after having a good rest. This year was full of challenges and probably the most emotional one for our team so far. A lot of our efforts were on keeping our team safe. That made us stronger, more united and resilient. 2023 is going to be a huge year for Corepunk and for us to be closer to you. We can't wait. Have a good time on holidays. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the best. You're the best." So again, thanks to Eugene for taking his time on freaking New Year to come in and chat with us. And it's a very emotional message since, they have been through a lot of things, the developers. Yeah. Things is how it is. So let's go on and see. So first of all, he also shared a screenshot. This screenshot is from his, like you can see here, it's actually him playing on a laptop. And he's just randomly joining Discord on a laptop, playing Corepunk at the same time, pretty casual. And here we can see the screenshot. So he's basically doing some crafting, it looks like. And you can see he's doing crafting in something called, he's master in mysticism. He has items in the right side. He's playing his character in the middle, the orc character. I can't even remember what it's called now, since it's such a long time since we have talked about the classes in Corepunk. But it's called a warmonger, and he's playing the spec called legionary. You can see because he has a shield and spear. He have the items in the bottom. He only has 68 gold, so he's pretty poor, and he has a pretty good FPS and ping. So it's a nice and cool screenshot. We have seen something similar, but it's really cool that this is just directly taken from his laptop. So pretty cool. Let's move on. So the first question he answers is from Clifton. He's asking, how is development going? Eugene is saying it was hard. Okay, I'm gonna try again. It was hard late last year and early this year, but since summer, it's actually good. So that's good. That's good. We know that it's going well right now. I think I'm gonna move this a bit down. There we go. Next one is from Nit. Share some extended gameplay footage focused on resource gathering, craft, blah blah blah. He's basically just say the same as they said in the last post, but just give us one lazy screenshot. I feel much better now. Irony off. So he's a bit aggressive. He's a bit angry. He's probably sad about not getting any Corepunk news, and he's probably just waiting for this game. And Eugene is coming back. That's completely fair. And I was so close sharing it, but we caught 2 bugs that we really didn't like, and people who can fix them fast were already on holidays. Other than that, I did a 40-minute run in the game this morning, and everything looks very good. All the professions are working, and the game looks good and well-rounded. So, I mean, that's fair. I mean, see, this is the thing when you have a game in alpha, beta, whatever it is. They want to show something that looks nice on the videos. They don't want to show gameplay videos which are full of bugs. Because basically, people like Asmongold, Force Gaming, all these very big people could be watching these videos, and if they watch them with their, what, I don't know, when Asmongold, he maybe streams, he maybe have 100,000 people watching, and if he's watching a video from Corepunk full of bugs, what do you think of this 100,000 people who's watching this right now? No, they won't like it. They're gonna trash talk this game, and 100,000 people trash talking a game is, that's a lot of people, because they're going to talk with their friends and say, hey, that game is full of bugs. So I totally understand why Eugene, he wants a video out that looks good, and he doesn't want a buggy video out. So, and it's holiday season, so yeah, it is what it is. And then he shares a screenshot. That screenshot, by the way, I took just now on my laptop. And yeah, not much gold. Yeah, exactly. I kind of spoiled that, saying that it was from his laptop. So it's really cool of him. He just like randomly chatting with us while being on his laptop and playing Corepunk. I mean, imagine, he was literally playing at the same time he was chatting with us. Such a giga chat. So Nid is coming back again. You can't be serious. 10 freaking days ago, you said something which you can't hold. All the delays were disappointing. Blah 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 blah. You know, he's angry. Eugene is coming back. That's the biggest update for us. It's a 30-minute one-shot gameplay footage with a lot of professions. There are a lot of things that could go wrong, but you're right. I mean, yeah, he's frustrated. I get that. I get that. Especially if you don't have, like, in my case, I have World of Warcraft Dragonfly right now, which I'm addicted to. So I don't have a problem. I could literally wait for Corepunk for years. I mean, for maybe a year or something like that. Because I'm busy with World of Warcraft, for example. And I guess Nid, he's maybe not busy with a game right now, and he wants a new game. So he's probably a bit upset. But yeah, Eugene, he's listening to it and he's saying, you know, he's like, I know what you mean. Benny the bot is coming back and saying, how did $2 stop a whole video? I mean, the game is still in development. And by the way, we have to talk about this. He's basically saying the next video is going to be a 30-minute long video, which is one shot. I mean, one shot 30 minutes? Oh god. You know, I normally do videos where I see everything in slow motion and get all the details for a video. I'm not going to do that with that one. Because if I'm going to watch 30 minutes in slow motion, it's going to be like a 3, 4, 7 hour video. No, I'm just going to watch it and react to it. That's going to be it. So Benny is coming and saying, how did $2 stop a whole video? I mean, the game is still in development and everyone understands this is to me. I mean, that's what we talked about. If they show some buggy footage on the game, people who's going to be, because all the big people already talk about Corepunk, they are already watching the trailers, and if the trailers look shit, it's gonna harm their reputation. People have to remember this. Some kind of little shitty indie game no one talks about, they can post whatever they want, but Corepunk is in a highlight right now. They even have videos on IGN. Everyone knows this game by now. Everyone is talking about this game by now. Even Force is making multiple videos about this game right now. So if they post shitty videos, it's gonna harm the game so much. And I don't think people realize this, that if they release buggy videos, it's gonna harm them. It's gonna make people talk trash about the game. And again, if it was some kind of shitty game no one cared about, they could do whatever they want and call it alpha. But Corepunk have got up here among the big games, the big anticipated games. So they're gonna act cool. They're gonna be, you know, Blizzard level, and that's what they have done. They are now on Blizzard level, and they need to show Blizzard level stuff. So I understand Eugene, but he says every hour video is watched by a wide audience. We want it to be very good after you post it. You can't fix after you post it, you can't fix it. And when we were showing butchery and a turtle does not explode in blood in the when we were showing butchery and a turtle does not explode in blood in the end of the process, that kills quality of the whole performance. You just lose flow. Oh, so they were like literally like showing that when you kill a turtle, you can like butcher it and get probably like some meat from it. And if there's no effects, like no blood or anything like that, again, that's small details, but it can do a lot of big things. Because if people see that, they're gonna be like, wow. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's move on. This video is gonna be a long video, so I hope you got some tea and popcorn. Okay, Getting Rigid is saying, all that should matter is the game is still in active development and not cancelled. And he said, with everything going on in the world right now, yes, although it sounds so normal and simple. Yeah. Eugene saying, we wanted to share that video on gathering and crafting a month or two later. A video on a character. Well, okay, so we wanted to share that video on gathering and crafting now. And a month or two later, a video on character builds. And then go for first CPT, fix bugs, and go for second CPT. That's the rough roadmap. This is literally a roadmap. He's literally just giving us a roadmap. He's basically saying, we're first going to get a profession video with crafting and gathering. Then we're going to get a build video where you basically play different characters and builds. Then we're going to get a closed beta. Then they're going to do a lot of fixing after the beta. And then they're going to give us a second beta and who knows what's going to happen after that. So that's basically the 5 phases of what's going on right now, which I believe is a pretty solid roadmap. And I mean, it's a rough roadmap he just gave us randomly. He didn't have to, but he gave us. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, yeah. I think yeah. So Clifton was literally like just saying randomly this turtle opinion, and then Eugene he responded back with this picture here, which we can see here. This picture here. So yeah, Clifton was actually like saying turtle opinion, opinion, yeah. And then Eugene he was literally like answering back with this image here, like yeah, here you can see the turtle. So we can see the character stand in the middle in a forest. We have the turtle over there, a spiny turtle, and yeah, that was the answer. He answered with an image. So Sovelis, my good friend, is saying, how will you choose testers? And Eugene is saying, we'll go through our Discord, forum, and closed beta. Let's hope I get closed beta. That would be nice. Sovelis is saying, and play the game. Lots, of course. And Eugene is saying, 16 hours per day for the last 2 weeks. I mean, I have respect for that. That the producer, the direct producer, the producer of the game is literally playing the game so much. He's like testing every single thing. Because I could imagine other companies where the director maybe, oh sorry, the producer is not maybe playing the game as much, but he's more doing like management stuff. But Eugene, he's literally like in the game testing stuff, and I'm sure every time he finds a bug, he sends an email ASAP to the person who can fix it. So it's cool. But he's playing 60 hours per day for the last 2 weeks. That's a lot of hours. That is a lot of hours. Yeah, I hope he remembers to eat something also. Estelle is saying, any chance of more screenshots? And Eugene is saying, I can make 1 million, but I don't want to spoil. So, and of course, he doesn't want to like give us everything. He wants to give us it in the nice videos. Alomio is asking, looking at that last image, that is quite a tight corridor. Wonder how that location will look like with more players. And Eugene is answering, it only looks this way, but actually it feels very open because there's no corridors at all. But yes, sometimes it's narrow. So yeah, basically when we look at this picture here, we can see that there's forest everywhere. But actually, if you look at the minimap at the bottom, you can see it's actually an open forest. You can walk among these trees, which is going to be really cool for people who are doing open world PvP, that you can literally run around in these forests to hide from your friends or from your enemies and like literally backstab them. Not saying you should backstab people, but maybe. Sovelis is asking again, will you do a dungeon with us? And Eugene is saying, I'd love to. One maybe, not obvious things is what I want to play Corepunk probably more than many people here. But I play on an alpha or near beta. Corepunk, as we envisioned, is still not there yet, but we polishing, gathering, and crafting. I really enjoy roaming through the world, gathering, resource, killing mobs, and I just being there. That's a good sign. But we need to solve a lot of technical issues still, but we're on it. So basically, Eugene is saying, of course, Dungeon is coming. He want to play Dungeons with us. But right now, they are more focused on the world. You know, roaming, gathering, crafting, the feel of the world. The feel that when you log in, you feel you're in there. You feel it's a nice game. And then all the in-game content like Dungeon and Raids is like, that's second priority. So it's nice. It's nice to hear that he actually likes the game himself. I mean, it would be a problem if you didn't like it. So this is asking, is one of the gathering professions fishing? And Eugene is actually answering, not yet. We added in proto stage, but realized that we are not gonna be able to polish it just yet. So it still sits there for the future, but it's gonna be fun. Cool. So future-wise, we're gonna get fishing, but probably later. Arak is asking, it's permanent near beta. I see the sarcasm. That may be applied to a wide range of games, not just Corepunk, but yes, game development is hard and MMO game dev is even harder. I have heard from many people that developing an MMO is a different level of developing a single player game. Since a single player game is more like a linear, narrow game where you just focus on what is going to happen when you open that door, where an MMO is basically you have to literally create a world. You're literally creating a new world, You know what I mean? Like you're literally creating a new universe where you have to think about every single mob that roams around, every single like what could players do. It's a different level, and we also seeing stuff like that when New World came out. I think it was harder than New World Amazon they actually thought it would be. So let's see. Svelis is asking, I think I speak for everyone here saying that we are with you on that. We'd all rather Corepunk release when it's ready, even if that does mean we're waiting a little longer. And 100%. Take the time you need and and release a finished game. That would be nice. And Eugene is saying, I agree, there's plenty of unfinished games to play right now. Yeah. And what he means is like, he's probably saying that, a lot of people release their games too early, which they don't want to do. AV Days. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. AV Days. I hope that communication with the new year will be similar as to this last hour. Just a few photos, glad to be here, that things are going in the right direction. I wish a successful year for the team. And Eugene is saying, we'll get you that gameplay on gathering and crafting and in a few hours, or at max a couple of days. Community gonna need more. That's why we focused on actually game. Although I really missed the time we chatted a lot early 2020, I think we'll have more of that after first CPT and especially a few betas down the line. Yeah. So we'll get that new video, and as he's saying, they're gonna focus more on the community later. But I understand why they don't do it right now, because if they're not allowed to show any pictures, screenshots, or anything like that, why? I mean, there's no need to have any community managers in the chat all the time, since we can only talk about rumors. So it's like, I understand why they're waiting with it. Oh, look at that. That's a handsome blue deer who's asking a question. Mr. Dvalin is asking, how many classes you have in the beta at the moment? Still the 6 we saw in last preview? And Eugene is saying, we're polishing Destroyer, Ranger, Blast Medic, and Warmonger for close beta 1. Both sexes each. So they're going to have, male and female version, or as some people will call body type 1 and body type 2. And so that's cool. So they focus on the Destroyer, Ranger, Blast Medic, and Warmonger for close beta 1. So we're going to have 4 classes to play with in first beta, which is, it's nice. It's nice. It's going to be fun. And then in the future, we're going to get more and more and more. Cool. Alumio's asking, few more weeks for the video to be ready. Eugene has been chatting for a bit in here. He shared 2 screenshots from within the game. So he basically just answered someone. And then Eugene is coming with a little change. It's actually a 1-day fix. When everyone's back from holiday, but we thought if we are not on time, we can add some things that we can cut during the work. There's a lot of stuff that we like to polish, but we need to learn when to stop. Yeah, I get. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he as he says, they want to polish, but they also have to say, okay, we have a product that works now. Now we can probably sit something out. Yeah. Clifton is asking, can you share anything about the new website? It was looking fresh last time we saw. Oh yeah, that they basically coming with a new website where you can get like friends, chatting, kind of like replacing Discord, I guess, in some way. And Eugene is saying, oh, it's almost ready. Just sits there waiting for CPT and integration with our new authentication server. But mostly it's good. We just shifted backend devs to core game to finish our load tests faster. Cool. So I guess they have been working on the website and now they're going back to the game again or something like that. But that's cool. So Apex is saying, oh snap, the website communication with the game directly, that's cool. Like I can go to Path of Exile website and check my character's gear and stuff without firing up the game or logging out and going to an alt. Eugene is saying, it could technically, but we don't utilize that just yet. But you log in into forum sites and game with one service. So in a way, yes, they can talk. Okay, I mean, they could, literally. Maybe they're gonna have something like a Mori, like, you know, in World of Warcraft, you can log in and see everything you have on your character, like on, like, not your inventory, but you can see what your character have on him, like, you know, armor, and on the Armory. And I know you can also boot up the mobile app and see something, but I'm not quite sure what you can actually see with the mobile app on WoW. And then Abax has a very long question, and Eugene is having a very long answer, so let's see that. Abax is saying, awesome, it can be working towards the end anyway. Glad to hear it exists though. Many games skip on that, and it's a shame. You can add many cool features through various APIs. I'd like to poke a bit, if you don't mind. Could you tell us what kind of tech issues you guys have run into? Last time you mentioned them, you also said a team of Unity specialists were helping you guys out. We're just wondering what kind of issues doesn't have to be in-depth technical analysis. That's actually a good question, Abax. I have myself actually thought about that, because I love to know, as a software consultant, as I am myself, I like to know what is going on in the background, since I also work with software. So good question. Eugene saying, we're polishing a lot of things and finishing implementations of several systems. Half of them will be shown in the crafting video, but the main thing we are working on in the backend infrastructure is scaling and load testing. As soon as we get 100k bots doing what people will do in game and everything was expected, we'll be able to run a CPT for 10k actual players. Then we can scale further. Testing MMO is a challenge. Is a challenge in a way. Single player session-based game are much easier. There's a lot of ready tools for session-based multiplayer games on the market. There's no for persistence world where working on polishing our own, but it's all right. Just takes time and effort. And I guess that's why all other MMOs, they actually have closed beta. They're, you know, giving maybe like 10,000 invites out, and then they get people in and do the work for them. You know, they're basically testing the game for the developers. And what he says here is they're gonna have 100,000 computers, bots, running around the world with a script and basically doing stuff like people would do. And when that is gonna work, then they're gonna invite 10,000 people in and try the game out and see how it goes. And then they're gonna see the real thing, what is happening when 10,000 people from around the world is connecting into the data. It's gonna be interesting. That's a good answer. I like that. Thank you for that. Thanks for asking that, Apex. Draco Loco is asking, if a backend DevOps could help, I would love to participate in the process to be connected with the project. Sure, just Google us on LinkedIn. We are hiring, especially people who enjoy our type of games. I couldn't take that job since I don't know how to develop. Dick Songs is Dick Songs. Are we able to play in South Asia, Southeast Asia, with dedicated servers here in release? Eugene is saying, we'd love to, but for close beta, we're currently targeting only 4 physical regions. US East, US West, Europe Northeast, and BR, is that Brazil? I'm actually not sure. I guess it's Brazil. Which is, that's cool. I mean, for me, who's in Europe, it's going to be nice for me since I'm going to have a server close to me. So that's cool. Eugene, Pizza Reads Pertry is asking, do you accept people for internship after they finish university? And Eugene is answering, not right now. We are not a big company. Interns, although usually very motivated and bright people, need someone to help them. We can't afford it right now. We did that a lot 6-7 years ago, though. That's many years ago. Also now, because of the world situation with the war and all that going on, I think most of the people from Artificial Core who works on Corepunk is spread. So you have people all around the world, different places, until they maybe, go to one place together and build a new office. So having interns right now would be a mess, since it's probably going to be some kind of like online thing. I'm not sure if that would be a good thing. Clifton is asking, do you think after the game is released there will be expansion packs or just patches? Eugene is answering, we have a lot of expansion planned, We're working to make them quarterly, smaller but more often. That's cool. So they're gonna have something more like season-wise. So every third month, they're gonna have some kind of like big update with maybe a new dungeon, maybe a new, you know, basically what Elder Scrolls Online was doing. You know, every quarter they had like this expansion that was 1 year long. Every year they made like a new expansion, but every quarter they would like release a new patch in between there, which had new expansions, new systems, new raids, stuff like that. So that's cool. I do hope also, even though it's cool they're gonna release like things every third month to keep the game anticipated, kind of like what World of Warcraft is doing now with Dragonflight. They're gonna release new stuff every second month. Yeah, I think it was every second month. But I do hope still Corepunk maybe, after 2 or 3 years is gonna release like some kind of like major expansion. I still enjoy that moment where we all are hyped for the next expansion. Like, for example, when Final Fantasy is releasing or World of Warcraft is releasing a new expansion, it's always like something big, something everyone is hyped about. So I still hope in between those small patches they're gonna do, expansions, I still hope we're gonna like have something big in maybe many years, but you know what I mean. And then Eugene is sharing a few screenshots with us. So first of all, he's sharing this one with us where he's standing on a farm doing some farming works, we can see, and he's standing together with his dad down in the right corner. Oh, it's not his dad, but he looks like a farmer dad. He could definitely be a farmer dad. But yeah, and a nice farming robot over there, some crops and a scarecrow. Then he's standing in a city doing some alchemy, it looks like. Some kind of alchemy station. And you have a quest where it says speak to the goblin in the exoskeleton. So, all very cool. I like the UI. Then we have, he's standing again at the farm with some kind of like sentry robot that has been set up. Probably maybe, I don't know if it's like a spirit or what that robot is. I like the broken car order, by the way. I like the graphics of this game. I mean, if this game, people could, if I haven't seen this game before and people show me a screenshot of this, they could like trick me into saying this is Disney, like Disney making this game, because it has some kind of like clarity, like the colors of the house over there looks like something that could come from one of the new Disney movies. He also shared this one with us, again standing on a farm. Very nice. I mean, again, actually, if you see that newest movie from Disney with the monsters and all that, it could look like the same farm, which is pretty cool. Not saying anyone is stealing from anyone, but I'm just saying it's like it's sharing the same bright colors, with the light on. It's kind of like World of Warcraft. I love when it's a bit cartoonish but very strong colors, like you have increased saturation. And again, standing at the farm there, following his farmer dad over there. Looks very cool. I could definitely like zone in here and just like run around and have a good time. And then he jumped on my house. God, such a bad boy. Jumping on people's house. And yeah, in this game you can press space and then actually jumping. So I guess you can actually jump so high. So I can imagine in this game we're gonna have, in the town of the people, like in main capital cities where people are gonna hang out and auction house and stuff like that. I can imagine people is gonna try standing on all the buildings in the top, and it's gonna be fun to see. So Pizza is asking, beautiful, how are you on the roof? Like, how? And he's saying holding right mouse bottom, so he's basically running with it like in League of Legends or Diablo. And then he pressed jump, which is space, probably. And then he jumps. So I guess he's jumped from some kind of like lower place to higher and, just jumping up, which is pretty cool. I like that. So Estelle is asking, what button is responsible for enabling PvP? And they use P, which I guess is a pretty good button for PvP. Okay, so Memento is asking, Memento Mori, nice, but will it be playable on Linux? And Sovelis is saying, I think they just said Windows at the moment. And Eugene is saying, not right now. Client is on Unity, so it's portable, but we plan to expand platforms after release. I mean, one thing I think they would be really good at, or could win something big on, is making it viable for... See, the thing is, like, you can pretty much play any game on Linux with using, for example, on the Steam Deck, you can use what is called Proton, and then you can actually run Windows games on the Linux through that Proton thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they release Corepunk. I'm pretty sure I would be able to install it on a Steam Deck anyway with that Proton thing running. I'm pretty sure I would be able to do that. But I mean, if Corepunks had come out and had control support, I might buy a Steam Deck to just try and play it on a Steam Deck. That would be pretty cool, like playing on a Steam Deck around the world. That would be nice. That would be nice. And then Estel was sharing this picture. I'm not sure if Estel actually did this picture or who did it, but he shared it, and I thought it was funny, so I just wanted to include it. That he's saying, "Soon, my child, ho ho ho." So cool picture. Fortunatus is saying, "Do we have a rough CPT targeting at the moment, or just keeping that quiet for now?" And Eugene is saying, "Only rough right now. When we're done with back-end load testing with good performance results, we announce exact dates." That's a good idea. So when you're sure that you actually have a game that is going to work properly, then have it out. Fellow Peter saying, "All I care about is WASD. Rest of the questions I leave for others." Follow Pete. The good old WASD. It's a tricky one because, I mean, I'm all up for it because if you have WASD, you're basically making it easier for the developers to actually do control support, since controls are basically using WASD. But I see some people saying if you enable WASD, it's gonna be like it's gonna be overpowered in PvP because you can basically hold a button, run this way. So imagine you're holding A, so you can't just run this way all the time, and then you can use your mouse to targeting people behind you and throwing spells at them. And normally you couldn't do that because you would need to use the mouse to move around like in Diablo, and then at the same time using spells with your mouse. So it's a kind of, is it going to be cheating? Is it not? It also comes down to like how long are the cooldowns of the spell, because maybe it's not, maybe the game is slower than we expect, so it's not really a thing. But yeah, I'm going to leave that to Eugene to find out if it's going to be cheating or not cheating. Eugene is saying it's pretty fun. "If you continue with that request after release, I'll sit and implement WSD for you by myself." And smiley. "Just to make a point that one have to be resilient in order to achieve his goals." Yeah, because I think Follow Pete, he's been asking for this for like, what, 3 years now, something like that. He's just been asking this question over and over and again. But yeah, it will be interesting to see if we're going to get WSD. And then that was it. Eugene is ending up by saying, "Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for the talk. I enjoyed it, just like good old times. I'll have a short walk and get some sleep. Big hug. You're great. Talk to you soon." So thank you, Eugene, for joining us in this little Discord chat. I personally didn't have time to join. I had time to ask one question, which luckily got answered. But I was actually at a New Year party, so with friends and family and stuff like that. So I couldn't just sit like this with my phone while being at a party. So, but I was, while we were eating, just like one question. So, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It was a long video, many questions, but I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Happy New Year, and see you soon in closed beta for Corepunk. Soon and soon, but you know what I mean, like probably later in this year. So peace out. Bye.